In The Great Gatsby, a Midwestern war veteran finds himself drawn to the past and lifestyle of his millionaire neighbor.
You read it in high school.
Gatsby. He had an extraordinary sense of hope, but I had the uneasy feeling that he was guarding secrets.
Milk tears, I did this for you.
Gatsby. I'd like to know who he is and what he does.
Gatsby? What Gatsby?
Kevin, I'm going to make an assumption, and I want you to tell me if I'm correct, okay?
Yes.
You read The Great Gatsby in high school?
Yes.
Okay. I did too. That's all I was... I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page here. I'm pretty sure everybody read it in high school, unless you are not even up to that point yet if you're too young. I don't know about you, but I was not super into it because I felt like I was kind of being forced to read it, and I didn't really enjoy it like I might have if I read it on my own.
I remember seeing this story and saying, wow, okay, I really am not looking forward to reading this, but actually enjoying it. I thought the story was really good.
Yay, learning.
School.
But when I saw the trailer, I thought it looked awesome. And I thought the modern music was really interesting in the trailer. I didn't know if it would be in the movie itself. We'll get to that.
When I saw this, I thought, okay, we're going to see a movie here with really great graphics right off the bat. I mean, you see it in the trailer. You say, wow, okay, this is great. You see a movie that is probably going to be really long. And you're right, it is really long.
A little too long.
A little bit too long. But those were kind of my thoughts going into it. I didn't really know what else to expect. I didn't want to look into it more because I just really wanted to go in and get a real fresh look at this story. And we saw the movie.
And
it was great.
It was great. It was Great Gatsby. The end. That's pretty much it. That's wrong theme. I didn't remember every facet of the story, and I didn't want to go back and get a refresher because I figured, let me go into this movie kind of blind in a way. I mean, I knew some of the beats, but not all of them. And I have to say, you know, revisiting the story now, I have to say it is very, very interesting. And the writing, I think, in this movie, I don't know if it was necessarily the writing or the directing or the pacing or what, but I really, really felt the story. I really felt involved in it and very, very emotionally attached to it.
I thought there were some really great acting performances, some really great design, and more specifically, we'll talk about it. And overall, I thought it was a very unified sort of
like experience.
Epic film that that really is, I think, a great definition of where we are in terms of films that are being made right now.
And I think it also really injects a lot of life into a book that people either assume is a dull book, or, you know, like I said, if you're reading it in high school, it's not necessarily the most exciting of books, so I think that it's a little more accessible, but without sacrificing the book, what the book, you know, is.
Yes.
But let's get a little more into The Great Gatsby, starting off with the writing.
So the big question is, how does it compare to the book? I thought it was very loyal to the book in terms of the way it was written, the sort of style where Nick Carraway is telling the story. We see that very strongly. In fact, there are many quotes. I don't know if they're exactly from the book, but it seems like they're literally word for word from the book.
Yeah, some of them felt a little bit off, and I was like, that's definitely from the book.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like the person would say it in that situation the way they did, and it was like, it's got to be exactly from the book, which is good and bad, but I'm sure in this case, it didn't bother me. I'm sure people will be very happy about stuff
I think
like
it was good.
You know, I don't remember everything about the book. Not everything. I remembered enough that I was like, okay, I know what happens to this character and this character. Won't spoil anything now, but basically, I do think that the writing was really, really well done in this. Maybe it could have been cut down a little bit, the script. I don't know if it's in the directing or in the script. The movie felt a little too long. But I would say that the characters were written so well and they were developed so well that I was completely emotionally invested in every single one of them immediately. As far as the directing goes, well, like I said, Baz Luhrmann, you know, either you love him or you hate him. Once again, I really do think that he injected kind of a life into it that didn't feel forced. It felt very natural, and it felt like, you know, relating what we feel as to be like a great party to what it was then. Because, like, maybe what a great party was then wouldn't be what we think is now, but you want to relate to it and say, like, oh, I want to go to this party.
There was this really strong connection between, you know, 2013 and the 20s in a lot of things. I mean, in the music, we saw that a lot.
Which we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah, and just having that imagery to match it, I thought was a really cool concept.
Now, what do you think of the 3D?
The 3D was...
necessary?
I don't think it was necessary, but at the same time, I mean, where we're going in film... Of course, it's going to be in 3D. If you're going to make The Great Gatsby in 2013, it's going to be in 3D.
Which, of course, yeah, that seemed like a big joke when they first announced it. But I would say that there were some parts that really looked great in 3D.
I thought
I felt like I was looking across at the green light.
Yes.
across the water. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I also felt like we really highlighted characters when they were the focus of what's going on.
Yes.
And that was a really nice use of the 3D.
The music was very, very interesting because I didn't expect the music that was in the trailers to be the same type of music in the movie, where it was modern music. It was Jay-Z, and then in some cases it was like old-sounding renditions of modern songs. I thought that was, once again, kind of going along with allowing us to understand what type of party this was to them, to where we are now, I guess. And I don't think it detracted. I don't think that it was like pandering or anything like that. I really think that it was very, very cool. I mean, I wanted to go into this movie. I wanted to be there.
Yeah, and something to remember with this is you might say, oh, well, how does that fit into the period? We're at a point now with The Great Gatsby in its lifespan of living. I mean, there's sort of this meta quality to it where we're watching and we know it's The Great Gatsby. The audience knows it's The Great Gatsby. There's no... It's an old
weight of it. Yeah.
Right. So... I don't think it takes away having the modern music, like you said. I mean, it's really...
we all know when it is. No one's like, what time is this? Yeah, we all know.
There's no question. So the movie's very secure in that way. A lot of people probably won't like this music.
Absolutely not.
Maybe some older people might go see it and say, oh, well, I don't really like this. But I guess if you don't like the music in general, that style of music, you're not going to like it. But I
totally get it, though, if somebody didn't like it. I get it.
Yeah.
But I definitely liked it a lot.
It sort of adds to that carefree lifestyle, but... I just hope that they didn't do it to get the younger crowd
a good
to want
soundtrack
to come watch.
or to sell soundtracks.
But I don't think it was.
That's what I'm saying. I really don't think that it was pandering.
Another thing I really liked was the design in general. I thought it was very unified, very cohesive. That goes along with the director. I don't know how much of it was the director, how much of it was the other designers. Thought the hair and wig design was great. I didn't doubt for a second that this was what they were. The costumes.
Sets. And finally, the acting. This is huge. All the acting I thought was fantastic. Specifically, of course, let's talk Leo DiCaprio right up front.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Wonderful.
Amazing. Great. Yeah, he is always fantastic. I would say, though, that he was almost given a run for his money by Joel Edgerton.
Joel, yeah, he was good. I mean, he played very nicely beside him, but I think Leo DiCaprio just fit this role so well.
Perfectly. I felt so bad for him so many times.
Yeah, I really did too. And
but Joel Edgerton was very menacing when he was supposed to be. Like, he was very intimidating. And he had a very powerful presence on screen, I thought, as this character.
Sure, and he was likable in the beginning, too, which is kind of
cool. Oh, yeah, of course, right. So, you appreciate the fact of when he gets sort of menacing, I guess. Yeah. Carey Mulligan, I thought was great. Once again, I thought everybody was great, so we're not going to go into everybody, but I thought Carey Mulligan was really, really great.
I thought she was great. I think if you, in the beginning sequence, when they show her on the couch...
If you don't fall in love with her,
you're... Yeah.
Yeah, you got problems, because immediately I was like, oh, wow, I just want to hang out with this girl now. And then, of course, Tobey Maguire had a little bit of... worry going in that we would not be able to see him as anything but just Tobey Maguire, right?
Yeah, he did add some quirk, which was kind of interesting because
much needed. I would say.
Yeah, he's sort of giving that commentary because he's like sitting in a room and it'll be like something weird's happening and he'll be like, oh?
But all in all, I was very happy with The Great Gatsby. I do think that it was a different approach, obviously, than you might expect after reading the book or, if you know the book. But I do think that it was able to breathe new life into a story without detracting from the original work. I really think it was very respectful of the original work, and I think that people will really enjoy it, but I would understand if somebody didn't, for multiple reasons. The music, the visuals, just the tone of it. I get it. I liked it.
It's sort of glossed over, maybe something that was a little more gritty. So if you don't mind something, I mean, that goes a lot with the director. If you look at his past work, I mean, it's just the way it is. So that goes along, like you said. If you like Baz Luhrmann, then you'll definitely like this film.
Please let us know in the comments what you thought of The Great Gatsby. Let us know if you're a big fan of the book. Let us know if you didn't like the book at all. What do you think of the movie relative to your thoughts on the book? If you haven't read the book at all, of course, then definitely let us know what you think of the story, if you thought it was interesting. Let us know what you thought of the style, Baz Luhrmann's style. Let us know what you thought of the acting, the music. Let us know anything that you want about The Great Gatsby.
Or anything else.
No, just The Great Gatsby.
And that's pretty much it.
You can't repeat the past.
Can't repeat the past.
Why, of course you can.